at some point. I started a pre-workout supplement company when I was like 23.
Yeah.
Friends of mine. Yeah, it's called Muscle Molly.
Okay.
So it was actually did very well at first. We just in the town that we sold it in, like we sold a lot. So we're like, let's invest in it. So 3 of us put $5,000 in each and bought enough to have that first wave of stuff. So we have all the ingredients and shaker bottles and all that stuff. Just weren't 1 foot in the whole time. Like we didn't really invest the time that we should have put into it. And I've tried probably 2 times since that to kind of get it going again. Most recently was just this last December. And I was ready. I had a good business plan. I've learned a lot from my failures previously. And I was like, I can do it this time. I had way better networking skills, which is so important with launching anything.
Yeah.
So I actually had the opportunity. Are you familiar with Gymshark, like the apparel?
No.
Okay, so it's like $1 billion like fitness apparel company out of the UK, and the CEO was coming.
Is it like their Under Armour?
It's more of like a niche towards like weightlifters. Like it's very popular. It's like
Okay.
like the.
It's not athletic apparel. It's like legit gym.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, they do kind of trickle off that just because it's such a big company. Like, might as well take advantage of the likeness of your business and throw your shit on all different kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was more so targeted towards, like you'd have your YouTube influencers that work out in that stuff, and they're just like the gym bro type.
Got it.
Yeah, so that the CEO of that was going to be coming and working out at the gym that I work out at. And the owner of the gym was like, hey, you should pitch that to this guy. Like, you know what Gymshark is? And I was like, yeah, I know what Gymshark is. Like, it's a massive company. And I was too busy with You Move Me stuff. And,
oh, no.
And I missed that opportunity. And then there's Supplement Superstore is fairly big. It's kind of like a GNC. But there's like, I think 7 in Kansas City. I think they're all owned by one guy, or most of them are owned by one guy. And he works out at that gym. And the gym owner's like, hey, like, he'd be interested to like put your stuff on his shelves. And I was like, oh, cool. Like, I just have to talk to this guy.
Yeah.
Never did. Yeah. So I think I just knew that I wouldn't be able to give it my all. So I was like, I don't want to. Like, because I liked the You Move Me thing. I saw where that was going, and I think that that's a very high potential. But yeah, I figured I'd put a bookmark on that one. I'll come back to it.
That's a legit idea, and clearly you work out a really good gym for getting your word out.
Yeah, I know.
All these big players are going there.
Yeah, so it was yeah, I mean, that's definitely that cheesy saying of it's not what you know, it's who you know. It's the most true thing that I've learned in my life, that I could have been the best candidate ever and not known Josh and tried to kind of, expedite my process here, and it wouldn't have mattered. But the fact that I just knew him and he knew me, it expedited it down here. So that, I mean, there's a lot of people that will be on the trucks for years before they have opportunity to get off and do more. And I was able to do it fairly quickly because of who I knew. There was one other business that I wanted to start, did a lot of work, a lot of research, figured it out. It was basically something to help fasten things. It started out as a moving truck because obviously that's what I was like. That's usually when you get ideas. It's like you have a problem and you're like, nobody's fixed this yet, so I want to fix it. So the issue was there. I figured it out. I was like, and I was like, awesome. I was telling people about it. They're like, that's absolutely genius. That's so smart. And I went to put in my 2 weeks with Josh, and he's like, no. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, no. Like he called me a shiny object guy. He said, you like new things, and it's exciting for you, And he's like, I'm not going to say that you won't be successful and won't get rich off doing this. He said, but I can guarantee you that if you stay here, you'll be rich and you'll be successful. So he's like, so it's up to you. If you want to go out there and take a chance, like I wish the best of luck and I hope that you do well. But if you stay here, I can promise you that you will be very, very well off. You'll be very successful. And I was like, that's where the mature Adam came in, was like, 5 years ago, that might have been allowed to take a hope I win.
Yeah.
This is much more sustainable. And, you know, it's what you make of it too. Like I make it exciting by wanting to, you know, to do more and build those systems and try to develop people. Like if I just sat back and did the bare minimum, like it wouldn't be exciting. So it's, I'm making the shininess of my position instead of just taking it as it is. So that's kind of my compromise for myself.
Yeah. No, I don't think that ride you're on there is over yet. So
No.
I wouldn't jump off of it.
Yeah. It was a good idea though, but I'm gonna keep that one secret because I probably got a little while before I can really work on that one.
Yeah. It's good to have those sweet ideas. So
yeah, it's fun. Like the building of it's definitely the most fun. Just planning it all out, doing the research, like talking with like distributors in China about getting the materials and mapping that out on like what quantity you need to be at this price point and you know all that kind of stuff. And like I love that part of it. Need to work on the follow through a little bit. The execution of it is where I kind of get bored at that point. But
yeah.
That's why a lot of places that are very successful, there's two people because you have the yin and the yang.
That partnership.
Yeah, like Steve Jobs, Steve Wozniak. I think you need the genius behind the scenes, and you also need that visionary that can sell the dream to people. Which is pretty cool. They have that here with Josh and his partner is Tyler. Tyler's very much the analytical, like, you know, he was a software engineer, and he had that background. So he very good with numbers and understands, you know, all that kind of stuff. And then Josh is just like the inspirational motivator, the guy that, you know, just knows how to get the most out of people. So you have those two together and I talked to Josh one time and I was like, man, if you guys weren't together, like Tyler would be very, very profitable in small business and you'd probably be a very sloppy large business and you'd just be cleaning out money, but you'd be fucking inspiring people to do well.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's cool when you have that. And I pushed for that when I had you move me. I tried so hard to find somebody that would kind of match that with me, but it's difficult. That's one thing I learned really quickly is that a lot of people are okay with being average. Like I thought everybody wants to be rich, everybody wants to be super successful.
I had this same conversation with my transportation VP. I was just like, I was talking to him. I was like, why did like all these warehouse workers just rag on our supervisors or whatever? They should be doing this and they should be doing that. But none of them ever want to be a supervisor. And I'm talking to him like, Cisco's is like one of the only places in this area that I've been able to like branch out and work a bunch of different positions and like grow myself. And I'm the only one doing it. And I'm like, why? And he goes, some guys just want that stable check and they just want to do that one thing, come in, do that thing. Maybe they have, you know, something going on at home or whatever, but work is work and they don't want to feel that change. And that's like when it occurred to me that, like you said, it's not everybody's thinking that way.
It's
that growth. But you need those people.
Yeah.
You need somebody who just wants to come in and do the groundwork and find some sort of satisfaction from that, so that the leaders or the imaginative guys or whatever can make new things and get higher and higher.
It all works out for a reason.
Yeah.
But I was very taken back because I had like friends that were smart and I'm like, oh, they want to be rich and oh man, I make good money, I'm comfortable with my job, and they're just like, it's like, damn, like I didn't even realize that. I just assumed everybody wanted everything.
Yeah, me too.
But far from I'm like I hate complacency. Like I I remember when I was like, oh, I'm making $10 an hour. I want to make 13, and I would be like, oh, it'd be so cool. But then you make fucking 15 an hour, and then you make 50 grand, and then you make 60 grand, and then you're like, I was like, I'm literally never gonna be satisfied. Like never. I'll never
Yeah.
get to a point where I'm like, all right, I'm good now, because it's just the grind of it is what is so fun about it.
Yeah,
like,
well, you're growing, the constant growth.
Yeah, it's
for me.
absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, I'm the same way, but doing it at a much smaller scale than you, clearly. But
no, you'll be running Cisco.
Yeah,
that'd be a little bit bigger.
That was the joke when I came back on nights. The supervisors were like introducing me to the guys that are new, because it's been like 2 years since I've been there, and they're like, "This is the future leader of Cisco." That's not ultimately my goal, though. My goal is to use them as it's a learning experience, So
yeah. What is the end goal?
Well, I guess I don't really know. Obviously, I wanted to get into sales because I'm trying to find a way out of the blue collar life. So I don't want to do that anymore. And I also started, I feel like I'm really late to the game. It was like a year ago, I learned about like the idea of having assets and developing passive income. Like to me, with these small time families or whatever, developing a passive income wasn't even a thing. I was like, go to work and that's the money you make. And I'm starting to realize like that's not how people get rich.
7 streams.
Yeah. You have to develop other things. So I'd like to get into real estate and do rental properties. Content creation has potential to do something like that as well. And I'm riding out Cisco until I don't need it anymore. And when I don't need it anymore, then I'll continue to grow, which I feel like that's the best you can really do.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm a very good salesperson for Southwind, because you should be like, damn, I want to go join that place. That sounds awesome.
Well,
I work on my sales pitch.
It does, but I don't know. We'd have to talk later. I just I'm not like trying to be sold right now, so I guess I wasn't even really thinking of that.
Always gotta be selling. That's our biggest thing. Just recruit people. You gotta have people. It's a really
well. Okay, what makes it different for me? I'm trying to be like really careful as far as taking what jumps I take, because I have an 8-year-old daughter. So like there are things I have to have financially. So like the risks I can take can't be quite as risky as what I could have taken when I was younger. When I wasn't, I'm taking more risks now actually than I did when I was younger, which is strange because I'm kind of like in a spot where I can't take as big of risks as I could have.
Yeah, I feel the same way about like being late to the party with this.
Yeah.
We have a kid that's 18 years old, really smart, like kind of like the all-American boy, good family, all this stuff, like not the typical person you'd see coming through a moving company. And he worked here as a summer job last summer. And he actually decided not to go to college because he saw the potential here. So now he's been here for about a year, and this kid will be owning a business before he can drink.
Yeah.
And it's like, damn, I wish I had like that head on my shoulders at 18. Like I was an idiot at 18. And this kid is like polished, like he's super professional. He's a hard worker. He just gets it. And it's like, I'm like still figuring it out. I feel like he's more mature than I am, and I'm 12 years older than him.
Yeah.
So it's like, I definitely feel you on that. Like we have a lot of younger people that are coming through the business, and it's like, you can see it. You're like, that person will own, that person will own, that person will own. It's like 22 years old, 19 years old, 25 years old. It's like, It's crazy. I wish I had a little bit more figured out at the time, but just all I can do is make the most of it. In the big picture, it's still very early. Like,
Yeah, it really is.
very early. There's a lot of there's a
Well,
show.
Also, when you were that age, though, you were going through your struggles and hardships and refining those traits that you are using now to be successful. And those 18 and 20-year-olds that are like at this peak spot now, well, there's a huge chance that at some point they're going to go through that struggle, and they're going to go through that struggle at a much higher point.
Yeah.
Which
I
would.
at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. But I'd still like that. That'd be
Yeah. I'm not.
I'll take it.
Yeah. But
yeah, it's interesting though, like how there's different mindsets, because there's like 35-year-olds that work there that don't get it. And, like, it's literally like means nothing. We have a 53-year-old mover, and we have an 18-year-old operations manager. Like, you control a lot of it yourself, so that's interesting. And that's a really cool part about the place, is it's like a sports team. Like, the best people play. Like, it doesn't matter if you've been there long, if you're older or anything like that. It's just like, you're going to give us the best chance to win, we're going to put you in. So that allows us to attract a lot of competitive people that are driven.
So it's like, yeah, if you're willing to bet on yourself, the company will bet on you.
Absolutely. Yep. So that's it makes it fun, and actually it's like every year nominated, and I think won a couple times for best places to work in Kansas City. It's like the best culture in Kansas City for workplaces. And I mean, it makes sense. Like I was telling you about Josh, like texting and stuff, like they're just so down to earth. Like, I'll be training people on their first day walking through the office, and I'll just bump into him, and he just jokes around and laughs, introduces himself. And not a lot of multi-millionaire CEOs are just wandering around shaking hands with people on their first day. Like, it's just not super common. And granted, it's not a massive business, but I think we'll do like 50 million this year. So it's not like it's like a mom and pop shop. So, and the craziest thing is, it's just going to get so much bigger. Like, it is.
So if somebody was interested in looking into it, then where do they go?
So there's actually a website called southwindceo.com, and basically, like, it gives you the plan of attack on how you can go in day one, learn, and become an owner. It's actually, it's crazy. Crazy thing.
So what was that again? Southwind what?
Southwindceo.com. Yep, southwindceo.com. Yeah,
I'll be sure to have links to that then.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a very unique opportunity. I kind of give a little pitch when I have people on their first day. Like, there's businesses. So this is actually a perfect example because of what you've said. There's businesses where they don't want you to develop. They're like, I need you to do, let's use it for the moving industry example. I need you on the truck for the next 20 years because you're a really good mover. There's gonna be businesses like that. They want to hamper your growth. There's places like where you're at Cisco. If you're the right person, you go find those resources. They're available to you, and you can get the growth. But then at Southwind, they're like, I'm going to pull the best out of you whether you want it or not. Like, I need owners, and as long as I can like push you, and if I have to drag you, like, we're going to make the most out of you. And I think that's the really cool thing about it, is it's all people development. Because I was talking to Josh about kind of his success, and like, why did he approach it the way of like having these bunch of business partners that have the ability to be financially free. And he's like, it'd be very lonely at the top. Like, I want to see other people succeed. Like, it's fun to do it with other people. And that's just so true. Like, it would be boring if you're the only person that could go out on a fancy vacation. Like, we always joke about, like, we can't wait till we're, in 5 years, 10 years, all of us that like are the pioneers of this are sitting on a beach drinking Coronas. Like, that's what you wouldn't want to do that by yourself. Right. So it's really cool to be a part of that kind of stuff. And I wasn't really planning on pitching the idea, but as you can tell, I'm very passionate about it. It's something I believe in. So it's just really cool to be a part of a place that it does things the right way. Because you can lie, cheat, and steal and get success, but you don't have to. So it's cool to be a part of one of those unique situations where you don't have to do that.
Yeah, where integrity is important.
Yep.
I like that a lot.
There's 4 pillars at Southwind: people development, excellence, integrity,
Yeah.
and alignment. So yeah, integrity is super, super important. Integrity from like day one people that go out. We have to know that you're going to do the right thing when nobody's watching, but also integrity for if Josh tells me that I develop people, I have to buy into their business, and following through with that. So it's super important that it's ingrained top to bottom throughout the entire business, and they do a great job of it. So they have 13 locations that are run by people that started on the truck. So
Nice.
like, the proof is in the pudding. Like these guys make $200,000, $300,000, $500,000, $700,000 a year because what they do, they get addicted. They go open a location, they build it up, and then they go and open a new location and build it up. So like they start to just roll in, and that's kind of the approach. So a lot of these people that are going to be the first ones to go out and own, they're going to be stupid rich because they're getting in it early.
Yeah, they have the most room.
Yeah. I mean, there's potentially 360 more that we could open, and that's all in front of them and not behind them. So it's a very exciting opportunity.
I think this is a great way to kind of close it out then, knowing that right now you are hearing of a great opportunity. Anybody who's listening or watching through this company, it's a great place to be at, and it's about to be expanding, and this is when you want to get in, right? If there's no other time. So I would definitely suggest, and I'll definitely check it out myself, the southridgeceo.com, and I hope you guys are just as successful as you're planning to be, and that eventually you get time to launch that shake thing.
Somali.
Yeah, I like that.
Someday.
All right, I just want to thank you for being on here. And we should definitely do it again sometime.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it. It was definitely fun. I enjoyed catching up.
Yeah. All right.